the reason why I always wear black is because when I was bigger, I thought black was more slimming. And then I always wore black. Like everyone knows I just wear black clothes. So only recently, like you see pictures that I'm in white t-shirts.
So we've got the man himself, Adam Dawkins.
Welcome, bro.
Thank you very much.
Really appreciate you, first of all, just for making the time to come and join us, bro. We've had a bit of a brainstorm of who we wanted to get on the podcast, and I know for myself personally, you were one of the names that popped up in my head straight away. So I thought, let me just reach out, and we've managed to line up schedules, get you on, which is awesome. Obviously, there'll be people who are tuning in who know you already, they're already familiar with you. So I think it'll be a good chance for them to just kind of see where your head's at these days, and just check in with everyone. But for those who don't know you, obviously you're DJing. I'll let you introduce yourself though, but I'll just give people a bit of an idea of what you're about.
DJ now, old promoter.
Yeah.
Used to work with yourself on bar days.
Yeah, man.
I kind of came up here for uni when I was 19 and just kind of fell in love with the city.
Yeah, man.
Got straight into promo from day one. Remember some guy knocking on my door, asking me to sell tickets. I was like, well, I'm going to go meet people. Got into promo, got into an events company, ran a few nights, and just kind of did that. Dropped out of uni. Didn't like uni. Ended up doing quantity surveying, which you never guess. Hated that.
That's left field, isn't it?
It's literally brick counting. It's the worst thing I've ever done in my life. I just stayed up here when I dropped out of uni, worked full-time promo. It was just a good way to meet people, and I just like being sociable.
Yes, right.
And getting out.
Seems to be a lot of people's story when they move from down south up here. It's just was it just on a quick one, and then you ended up loving the place, or did you move? Was it all planned?
I always wanted to go to uni. I was actually meant to go to Loughborough because I used to be pretty big into my rugby.
Oh, okay.
But I played rugby for so many years before that. Training, matches, like 3 training sessions a week, 3 matches a week, and I just got to a point I was like, I want to enjoy myself, so I chose Northumbria.
So you were 18, 19?
19.
And was it a big move?
Yeah, because moving away, to be fair, I was quite independent before that. But moving away, brand new city, people I never knew.
It's
no
different
family
as well.
up here,
Yeah.
no nothing.
Very different to London.
So different. Well, I actually went from London to the Isle of Man because my mum sent me away from London.
Oh, really?
Because all my mates were getting in trouble.
Yeah.
One of my mates got killed at a bus stop. And my dad lived in the Isle of Man. My mum sent me away. She was like, too much trouble here.
That's sick too.
So I went to the Isle of Man, did my A-levels there. And then in the Isle of Man, they actually pay for you to go to uni.
Oh, really?
Yeah, as long as you hit the grades, they pay for you. So they paid my tuition fees, gave me a grant for accommodation. So
Shit, man,
I
I'd
actually
like
used that
that.
as like a get out.
Yeah. That's sick.
And then came here and just stayed. But it was different to the Isle of Man because the Isle of Man, you'd have barn parties and house parties. The one club was made out of wood, 3 stories high.
Whereabouts is it? Where's Isle of Man?
It's in between Wales, Scotland, England, and Ireland. It's a little island.
Right.
It's like a 20-minute flight to Liverpool.
Roger that.
And then I came in, Newcastle seemed like a huge city compared to
It does,
there.
doesn't it? Yeah, I came from the countryside.
Yeah.
So it's like, it seems like when you come up here, but mate, I'm the same as you. I fell in love with it.
Yeah.
I came up here, similar in a lot of ways. My degree was in architecture. And I got through a degree, and by the end of it, I was like, what it taught me was, if you work harder than other people, you can still succeed. But I didn't have the talent. So I was like, that's me done with this, mate. Did the degree, and I was like, no, done, went straight into business. So I think fair play with that. And you've been pretty successful since then. So well done.
Thank you very much.
No, my pleasure, bro.
But yeah, man, when you moved up here, obviously it was a huge move. Career-wise, were you already thinking about what you wanted to do as soon as you left uni, or?
No, I just kind of used uni as just to be independent.
Yeah.
I get that, yeah.
Kind of get away, start fresh. I didn't know what I was going to do.
Do your own thing.
Yeah, I was more living week to week, see what happens. I'm a big believer, like, whatever happens will happen.
100%.
And I just kind of take week by week. I don't really forward plan. I don't like forward planning.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. And when you started DJing, obviously this was a little bit later down the line, but How big of a role was music playing back then, like growing up and stuff?
Do you know what? When I started DJing, I realized how much music was for me when I was younger, because I remember being at school and going, oh, listen to this track I found, listen to this. I was really into music, but I didn't realize it. And then when I started DJing, you're obviously looking for music. I was like, I was doing this like years ago.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize. But it was just, I've always been into music. And there was a time I remember I actually fell out of love with hip hop because there was just
nothing
hip-hop music
happening.
was rubbish. And I got into EDM and I went to loads of EDM festivals. I went to Tomorrowland 2 years in a row.
Oh, I bet that was sick. I've always wanted to go there.
Incredible. I remember looking at DJs like, that's so good. Like this big stage playing to loads of people.
Mate, I think it's awesome. Like I've thought that, like, you know, you see that and you just see these guys who are just, they've got however many people in front of them and they determine how the night goes.
Yeah.
Like that must be sick. That
it is like, especially you just feed off the energy. But even back then, I just appreciated what DJs did. And I didn't even know I wanted to DJ at that point. I just enjoyed it. And I was like, this is mid.
Yeah, it's a huge. I think it's a huge thing DJing as well. Like everyone, if you could just drop everything and just do something as a day job, like it's not a bad fucking day job, is it?
Mate,
like you just literally just sitting there playing music.
It was just a hobby for me at first. It was just a hobby, and then
you've got to have, or in my opinion, you've got to have a fair bit of confidence and a bit about you to be a DJ. So have you always had that, or was that tough at the beginning?
No, the thing is, people. This perspective, yes, I was promoting stuff, but I'm actually quite shy and like reserved normally. And then I remember when I started DJing, I was like, oh my gosh, everyone's looking at me.
Yeah.
And then I remember I went home one night, I was like, when you were in the club, no one was just looking at you. Everyone's in there having a good time. As long as you're playing good music, I was like,
That's
no
so
one's
true.
just staring at you.
Yeah.
So I was like, from that point on, I stopped being nervous about it, because I remember my first few gigs, honestly, even just setting up, my hands were shaking, trying to plug stuff
Mate,
in.
I'd be the same.
Yeah, my nerves were getting the better of me at first.
Yeah, spotlight.
Yeah.
100%.
Do you reckon that puts some people off it?
Probably, yeah. But then I'll just say, again, when you're in the club, you don't stare at the DJ all night.
It's true.
This is true.
So I think that only one time I've actually had everyone staring at me, I did Axel Blake's comedy tour at the old theatre, and I had to play for like 45 minutes before he came on. And obviously you're in a theatre, so people just sat.
It's a different vibe.
There's nothing to do. So they're sat just staring at you. And every time I looked up, there's about 400 eyes just looking at me. And I was like,
That's a different gig, that, isn't it? Yeah.
this is something else.
That's the next level up, innit? Yeah. But yeah, so obviously when we first met, just like for context, obviously, we noticed one thing about Newcastle, and that was the nightlife was obviously crazy.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of things were happening in Newcastle. I think this was around the time where Geordie Shore and stuff like that was still relevant.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But Newcastle's it's changed a lot since then, but it's still
Changed it.
seen as a nightlife city, isn't it?
It is.
Like,
But I'd be interested to see what you think on this, because I think it changed a lot a few years ago. But I don't know if it had anything to do with all the stuff that happened at Empress and all those places.
Yeah.
But then I noticed, at least for a lot of because I used to go to like the jaunts, the shindigs, Apex, those nights, you know.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm older now, so I don't go to them. But I don't know, do those nights still exist?
Not really, no.
No.
Because I remember, Shindig was a massive thing back in the
Mate,
day.
that was sick.
Yeah, Shindig. And then Loop was doing it.
Yeah.
Doing its rounds back then.
Yeah.
Now, I used to tell everyone, like, out of town, a Sunday to Thursday in Newcastle was like a Friday night in any other city.
Yeah.
Like, you used to walk through the streets at night and it'd be packed.
Yeah.
Fair enough with students, but now,
No, it's not, is it?
there used to be like 3-4 nights on a week, midweek. Now you've got one.
It's crazy.
You've got one place to go eat
Yeah.
each night.
That's mental, that.
And I feel like even like the whole, since COVID, like the whole wanting to buy tables and bottles, people don't have that money or want to do that anymore.
No.
Like you had 2 years basically inside like family
true.
life or whatever.
A lot of people don't want to do that anymore.
Yeah, they came out and binged once it opened, like, oh, I missed this. And then they got out and like, actually, I don't miss this.
Exactly.
And then just kind of stopped going out.
That's true, mate. That's true. I mean, also, a lot of places shutting down.
Yeah, I actually seen an article that like, I can't remember, don't quote me on it, but I think like 3 clubs around the UK or bars shutting a week.
Yeah, that might have been. There's a guy called, I think he's called Sasha Lord.
That's the one.
Yeah. And so if you get him up, man, he's sick, right? So he basically runs all the nightlife in Manchester.
Yeah.
He's like, this guy's incredible what he's done for like warehouse projects, all that.
Part life as well. Something.
Yeah, man,
Yeah.
a lot, man. This guy, he's big time.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's mate, the amount of like places that are shutting down is crazy.
Yeah.
But what he's saying is it's just the beginning.
Yeah.
Like people have refinanced and these type of things. So they said it's just starting. Really, a lot of places are going to go.
Yeah.
But then in that climate, you've done incredibly well. So how have you managed that?
For me, I feel like I've always kept my relationships with promoters, bar, club owners,
Yeah,
like really good, because I always feel like you never know when you're going to need them.
that's so true.
Like,
yeah.
even if someone's being a dick to me,
yeah,
I'll just bite my tongue, because at the end of the day, work's work.
100%. Business is business.
I'm always going to have bills to pay.
Yeah.
I'm always going to need gigs.
That's so true.
And I
So
also
true.
try to diverse my gigs. Like I won't DJ in the same club more than 2 nights.
Yeah.
2 nights maximum, because I also feel like if you then fall out of that venue.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So I try to keep my fingers as many pies as possible, keep people happy, diversify my gigs. Like I won't play the same as I do on a Friday as a Saturday, Saturday as a Sunday, Sunday as a Monday. Like I will try and make them different, because I feel that way you're not getting the same thing from me either.
Yeah, 100%.
What's your favorite genre at the moment to play?
It will always be hip hop and R&B, but I love, especially on my gigs, like the last hour when I get to play old school R&B
Sick.
and get people singing. Old school R&B, I think, will never be defeated. Like,
No, that's true.
even 10 years time, people still love that.
Oh, 100%, yeah.
Yeah. And with where music is, like in Newcastle, what's your hot take on it at the moment? Do you feel like there's a lot of talent that's just kind of going unrecognized, or do you feel like we're already getting that recognition?
As in with local artists and
Yeah.
rappers and stuff. I remember it's tough, because I feel like other cities have the platform for them to be put on. Like in Manchester, you've got so many venues, with live venues,
That's true.
where artists can perform. Newcastle, you don't really have that much.
This is true.
There's not many platforms for them to perform.
You don't see many people coming out of the Northeast. Like I've heard of looks like there's some decent grime artists, but there's no one it doesn't seem like there's a culture for it.
I don't get it, because you got like in Liverpool, you got A-Star, and his accent is so unique. And you know he's from Liverpool. Like the Geordie accent is so unique.
Yeah, mate, I 100% agree. Like Geordies have this uniqueness about them.
Yeah.
And it's like it's not fully being utilized.
Yeah.
I've said that since day one, since I've come up here. Like there's so much opportunity.
Yeah. I feel it just needs one person to
Yeah.
grab it by the balls and really go for it.
Yeah, mate, I agree completely.
Do you think that breakthrough is gonna come soon?
I mean, I don't know. I guess it could do.
Because I feel like it
Just needs someone. You just
'Cause
need
you-
someone to disrupt things.
yeah, you make a good point though. Like if I was a rapper right now and I wanted to break through in Newcastle, it's like my biggest show would probably be the O2 or something, or
Yeah.
do you know what I mean? And it's like,
Well, you probably wouldn't be up here for long. You'd probably go down south.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
But then you also got to think, like, even big artists, you always see them do tours of UK.
Yeah.
And you'll see them do London,
Yeah,
Birmingham,
yeah.
Manchester.
Yeah.
Completely skip Newcastle and do Glasgow.
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
true actually.
Mhm. You get very few that come here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so true.
It's weird that. I wonder why that.
I don't know. So it's always been the thing. But there's a lot of development going on in Newcastle. So I think
we're
there's-
not like, it's not like we're not densely populated, like as a city. Do you know what I mean?
It's a different demographic though. Like if you've been out in Manchester much or places like that,
Yeah, I've been out in Manchester.
it's a whole different
before,
vibe. Newcastle's got energy, but you go somewhere like Manchester, like that's energy.
Yeah.
Might just be a cultural thing because
100%.
Geordie's like, it's more. Well, when you think of MC and stuff like that, like
Gabba.
that's Geordie, innit? Like,
New Monkey.
yeah.
No disrespect to MC, but that's one genre I just can't get my head around.
What's that guy called? MC
MC
Tazo.
Tazo.
Yeah,
Fair play to him.
yeah,
But I
man.
remember hearing it for the first time and I was like,
Mate, I was the same.
what's going on?
Mate, I couldn't get my head around it.
And then if he puts a show on in digital,
mate,
rammed,
packed out.
heaving,
Packed out.
wall to
Yeah,
wall.
yeah, yeah.
That's
Him and
cool.
who's the little guy? It sounds bad, but he is. He always does it. He does. I think he's pretty close with Patrick Toppin. I forget what he's called. Yeah,
Shaq.
that's it, Shaq. Yeah,
He DJ.
Yeah.
St James's Park.
yeah, he did,
Yeah.
didn't he? Like he's done well.
Mental.
He's done really well for himself. But yeah, Shaq, like he's done seriously well. He's a funny guy.
Yeah.
He's
That's
good
another
with
thing.
it.
Like stadiums all around have DJs.
Yeah.
Newcastle doesn't have one.
Yeah, I know.
It's like one of the best atmosphere stadiums.
Yeah. I know.
I'm just
Yeah.
shocked.
It's a fair point.
It's crazy, man. But yeah, so another thing that obviously I wanted to talk to you about was this transformation journey that you've been on. So,
Oh, mate, that's so impressive.
you know, being a coach myself, I can always appreciate when somebody has been through a great transformation mentally, physically. I know it takes a lot of like resilience, but it also takes a perspective shift of some sort.
Yeah.
So what caused that?
I remember, so it's 2024 now. 2023 is when I started it. I remember the summer of 23. To be fair, it was many summers I felt like that. Summer 23, I DJ'd in Marbella and I was so hot. I just seen everyone with their tops off and I was like, it's not happening with me. That's not happening. And then I went to Napa with my mates, DJ'd Napa, and I remember them all being in the pool and I just sat sweating hot. And I was like, I need to sort something out about this. Summer went through and then there's an online coach and he posted a picture. There's a guy that I actually know because you're always skeptical about seeing his picture. There's a guy I actually know and his transformation was crazy. And he had a Black Friday sale and I hit him up and went, look, I need to sort myself out.
Yeah.
Like I don't want another summer of all my previous summers of
Yeah,
feeling
yeah,
uncomfortable, self-conscious. I was like, I'm 30 odd now. I need to sort it out. If I don't sort it now, it's going to be so much higher down the line.
Yeah.
And I just signed up with him. He guided me and I was just like determined. I was like, I've paid for it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to waste some money. Whatever he tells me to do, I'm going to do.
When you pay attention. That's what I say.
It is, yeah.
true.
Because I've had people mess me, I'll do free. And I'm going, yeah. And I just like, well,
Exactly.
free,
Nothing
I'm not-
lost.
yeah.
Yeah.
so I just stuck at it. And it's hard at first because you're not seeing the results because obviously I was so big. So I was a bit like demoralized. But then once I started seeing people saying, oh, you look good, like you're losing weight. Like I was like, right,
Yeah.
keep at it.
Yeah, mate.
And I just kept at it, started feeling so much better. The routine of going to the gym, waking up every morning, even if I had work the night before, I'd still get up 9 o'clock, go to the gym. I'll just nap later on, get it out of the way. Diet, learning about foods that I should eat.
Yeah.
And honestly, when you change, like once you change your body, like your whole mindset also changes.
Mate, I completely agree.
Oh, there you go.
Mate, that's incredible, that,
Yeah.
bro.
Crazy transformation. How much weight did you drop, bro?
30 kg.
That's insane.
Mate, that's impressive. And
That's
put on a
I always
decent
tell
amount of
people
muscle
like
as well.
you don't wake up, click your fingers, and lose that kind of weight. Like you have to put a lot of work in. It's the consistency more than anything.
Consistency.
100% discipline.
Yeah.
Showing up for yourself every day.
Yeah, there's parts of your routine, parts of like even just the way you communicate with people changes a little bit.
Yeah.
Like
Like your confidence as well. I felt
mate.
way more confident
Yeah, yeah,
afterwards.
yeah.
And even just buying clothes that I want to buy.
Yes, mate. Oh, mate, I get that so bad.
Like,
Like
I
suddenly
used-
stuff fits you better, you know?
Yeah. I used to go in Zara all the time. I've said this
Yeah.
actually to my PT. I used to go in Zara all the time, see stuff I like,
Yeah.
get it in the biggest size, tight as hell.
Yeah, mate.
Now I'm just
Zara's the
Zara
word.
once a week.
Zara's the worst for
Yeah.
that, innit? But yeah, mate, I'm the same.
Once
bro.
a week. I mean,
You
I go
in.
gym upstairs, finish,
Yeah.
I'll just pop into Zara.
Yeah. Oh, would you go to the gym at the Metro Centre?
Yeah, I
that
got
one?
it ever last year.
I've heard that's good, you know.
Unreal gym.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was thinking about, I mean, I go do David Lloyd, then I've got this No Limits gym. But I've heard that's good, though.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I messaged
Second
you
day.
about it because I wanted to go. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love that, you know, because, you know, you can spend so many years of your life just doing something and sometimes like you can push it aside, you can be a bit negligent towards it, and then, I don't know, something happens in you and you're like, right, fuck it. Like, I need to do something about this, and it can end up, whatever you end up doing can serve you like in so many different ways. Do you feel like it's impacted like your work as well?
I'm less hot in the club. I tell you, I used to sweat loads when I was DJing. Now I'm fine. Like you can
Yeah.
actually tell the difference when you lose
bet.
body fat, like how much cooler you are.
Oh yeah. Just make you. For me, I think you just feel everything feels better.
Yeah,
You know, like mobility, like you. But I think it helps with your head a lot as well.
yeah, absolutely.
Like, I think little things like what you're saying, like people giving you compliments, people noticing, so you get that confidence in yourself.
Yeah,
that plays a massive part.
yeah, it drives you on to keep
Oh
doing
yeah,
it.
100%.
Because at the moment,
Yeah.
I'm just like, I'm maintaining, still going gym 4 times a week. And
Sweet.
then after January, I'm going to try get in
Yeah,
ridiculous shape for
beast
summer.
mode.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
What's been the hardest part of it so far?
The hardest part was getting up in the morning after DJing, and getting yourself to the gym. Like there'd be mornings I wake up and go, just go tomorrow. And then I'm like, well, if you say that, you're going to do the same again tomorrow. Just get out of the way. Like I don't know any time that I've gone to the gym, finished the gym, and thought, I wish I never went to the gym.
Yeah, that's so true.
Like I've always finished gym going, glad I went there.
Yeah.
Yeah, what was it? Someone said to me, "You're doing this now for yourself in the future." And
Yeah.
it's so true. Like when you don't want to get up, just think about how you're going to feel when you finish it. Because
Yeah.
you're so right. Every time like for me, it's definitely the addict in me. But when I finish a gym session, like the dopamine rush I've got is huge.
Yeah.
I'm buzzing.
Yeah.
You know,
And
like,
it just sets you off for the day. You feel more
Yeah,
awake,
yeah.
you're more productive.
Mhm.
And for me, if I'm tired, I can have a nap later on.
Yeah, exactly.
So-
yeah, that's true. I guess that's beauty of your work schedule
Yeah.
as well. 100%. Did it affect your heads badly before you got in shape? Did that affect your mental health at all at times, or were you comfortable with it?
Nah, I'd say I was never happy how I looked.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just block it out.
Yeah.
But there'd be times I was really, the reason why, and it's probably not many people, the reason why I always wear black is because when I was bigger, I thought black was more slimming. And then
Yeah.
I always wore black.
Yeah.
Like everyone knows I just wear black clothes.
Yeah.
So only recently, like you see pictures that I'm in white t-shirts
Yeah.
because I felt comfortable
Yeah.
to wear them.
That's sick, man. No, man, that's impressive. Seriously impressive.
But I still wear black. I still love black.
Yeah, man, black looks good. Yeah. So what's the plan now then? Where are you going with this? What's the next steps for you?
Yeah.
Fitness wise, or
Yeah, let's
rifle?
do fitness wise first.
Fitness. I want to get in the best shape that I've ever been in for summer.
Yeah, that's sick.
The guy I'm
I
living
like
with,
that.
he gyms as well, so we're training.
So,
We're gonna have a nice aggressive cut after Jan,
love that.
ready for summer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just want to see where I can get to really, because
Mm.
I'm not getting any younger.
Yeah.
It's gonna get to the point where I'm not gonna be able to do it
Mate, that's
as much. So
I completely relate to that. It's
Yeah.
like let's do it now because the opportunity's gonna be so much harder in a few years.
yeah, especially if I then settle down, have kids, and where am I gonna find the time?
Yeah,
Late
yeah.
nights DJing.
True.
So yeah, get it done now.
Sometimes when I ask people this question, it throws them off. But what's the bigger picture for you in terms of DJing? And do you see yourself doing it long term as well, or do you see yourself branching off into something else?
I don't have like an end goal because I'd like to see where I can get to.
You want to be
Like, I
present,
don't
yeah.
Set like a ceiling. Like I just want to see how high I can get to.
Yeah.
And I've always said I'll do it until
Mm.
physically no one wants me to do it anymore.
Mm.
But in the meantime, I'd like to really save my money and just invest in stuff. So when I do eventually stop DJing, I've got other
Yeah.
income streams of revenue.
Yeah. I love
Because realistically, it doesn't last forever.
that.
But you best believe I'm going to drag it out for as long as I can.
No, man, I
Yeah.
love that.
Because your heart's in it.
Yeah. And I feel like I started quite late compared to a lot of people start DJing at like 19, 20.
Yeah.
I didn't start until 2019.
Mm. But I think for me, the best part about that decision that you made to actually go into it is the fact that you love it, you enjoy it.
Yeah.
I can remember we're having a conversation about why I actually wanted you to come on. The reason I think it's a great part about your journey is most people, when they actually want to do something they enjoy more and they actually love or they're passionate about, they don't do it because of like how practical it like isn't. So if it doesn't feel like perfectly practical, they've got all the steps laid out, they're like, yeah, I'm not going to do that then. Do you know what I mean? Whereas it seemed like for me, you just kind of like just went for it.
Yeah. So I was actually working at Top after Bombar, and I remember freshers was coming up that year, and I was like, I'm gonna be 10 years older than these freshers. Like, I'm not speaking to people 10 years younger than me trying to get them to come out to a club. I said, I can't do this anymore. And DJing was a hobby at that point. And I remember just thinking, you know what, if I don't try it, I'm going to regret not doing it. So I had a conversation with Christian. I said, look, I'm going to leave Top. I want to go DJ. And to be fair, he's quite understanding about it. He said, that's fine. I worked a couple more months. And then I gave myself, I said, look, if in 3 months I can't get any gigs, doesn't work out, I can say I tried, done. I'll go get a proper job.
Yeah.
In 3 months, I got like three residencies.
Sick.
And
mate, that's impressive,
doing
though,
something
mate.
that didn't feel like work. It just felt like something that I loved, and I was getting paid to do it. And I don't think there's many people who can say I'm getting paid to do a hobby that I love doing.
Definitely not, mate. That's really rare.
Yeah. And then I got the gigs, and then it's something we touched on, like getting the gigs, fine. I then had to prove that I could DJ because everyone thought that I was getting the gigs because I was an ex-promoter.
Yeah.
And I remember DJing. Emilio gave me a residency at Glass House. I was there on a Thursday, and the guy that owns Jalou and Spy came in, and I remember seeing him walking. I was like, oh gosh. So I was DJing, and then the next week got a message going, oh, do you want to gig at Spy Bar every Friday? I was like, yeah, absolutely. And he said it would be this much money, and I was like, oh, to play music, like because that's Glass House was the first gig. That was good money, and then he went, do you want this one? And then from that one, I got another one, and then it just kind of...
That's wicked, man.
And then that summer, I went out to Napa with my mates, and a guy called Don Brown, he had a weekly night at Black and White, and he went, come through and hop on. And I'd been DJing like 4 months by that point. And I remember hopping on, I was just like, yeah, this is what I want to do.
That's
definitely
sick,
100%.
Man. That's wicked.
Yeah, 100%. And I'm so glad that you took that leap, bro, because I'm like, whenever I see somebody wanting to do something that's like title or hobby, I'm like, mate, just go for it.
Yeah.
Just go for it.
Yeah.
And see what comes from
You'll
it.
never regret giving something a go. Like,
No,
it doesn't work.
I agree. If you could say something to yourself, I don't know, maybe when you're just about falling out of love with promoting, compared to where you are now, like what advice would you give that person? Because you've achieved what a lot of people probably at that point wanted.
Literally just jump in the deep end and give it 100% because you will never regret giving it 100%. Because I would rather know I tried and I failed rather than I didn't try and what if.
Yeah, you don't want to have them regrets.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my biggest fear. Always was getting older and having those regrets. Of not even trying it. If you fail, that's fine.
Yeah.
But at least you know you tried it.
Everyone fails.
And also, failing's never as bad as you think it's going to be.
Nope.
Never is.
I mean, another thing I read of it, Taylor Swift has about 1,000 songs out, and she's only had like 12 number ones. Would you say then she's a failure because all the songs never made number one? But look at her now.
Got to get the reps in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
Literally.
Don't make music, by the way, just to clarify.
There you go. He's a Swiftie.
Yeah. I'm absolutely not.
I clip that.
But no, I love that. One thing that I wanted to ask was, obviously, I suppose it ties to this a little bit. A lot of people are having to consider doing something that is more outside the box compared to what they're used to, just because of like the way the world is right now, the way the UK is. It's like everyone's got to now think outside the box to make a living for themselves, basically. How do you feel about where things are right now? Because I've been having conversations with people about whether or not I even want to stay in the country long term. So like, where's your head at with that side of things?
Ooh, good question.
Because you see some people are like, nah, UK is fucked.
Yeah.
And they're like, go, run, get yourself out as quick as you possibly can. But then like,
I feel everywhere's got their own problems though.
It's true.
Like, the grass ain't always green on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
Like I see a lot of people like, I'm going to Dubai. all right, well,
Yeah.
Dubai, but I'm sure Dubai has lots of problems. Like, it's all
100%.
glitz and glam on Instagram.
But
I'm
that ain't
sure
reality.
when you go beneath the surface, it's just like any other place.
Yeah, mate, without a doubt.
So I just feel like I'm happy where I am. Like, politics changes over time. Look how many governments we've been around. Look how many stuff happen. Goes like this. Like, you can't have any good times without having bad times.
That's it.
And it's just about being resilient.
Why is the UK so miserable, man?
I don't know.
It's ingrained in us, mate.
Everyone just, I think wherever you grow up, you just take it for granted and miserable.
But where the Geordies are meant to be the happiest, the happiest town.
Yeah.
Is it the no? Do they call it the happiest?
No, they're supposed to be the friendliest people.
Friendliest, that's the one.
Yeah. To be fair, I don't think you'll find a woman friendlier than the woman that works in Greg's.
Yeah, that's so true.
They're always the nicest.
That's so true. No, I think the UK's in a tough spot. I don't think it's going to get much better, at least in the short term. Like, the cost of living's going up. But I like what you were saying though. I think, because I thought this a while back, you got to just, all you can do is focus on yourself. You got to look after yourself. Like, unless you're in a position where you can make a real difference, you can still make something of yourself.
Yeah.
You just got to work harder than everyone else around you.
100%.
Yeah. Like, that's for me, that's it. And you got to just get out your comfort zone.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
You know, people who just be sat doing what's comfortable, complaining why they're not growing. Well, you're not going to grow there.
Yeah.
You know? Like, we've all been in those positions.
100%. You've got to focus on yourself. You've got to laser in on what you want out of your life. Because you can't blame the schools, governments, policies, laws. You can't blame all of that stuff forever, because you'll never actually focus on what you need to do for yourself. With that being said, though, it's a fucked up world. It's a weird world that we live in.
Oh, man, it's supposed to be fucked up. Of course it is, bro.
I just feel like you just got to kind of control what you can control.
Yeah.
100%. Like, I just think we're more aware now of how fucked up the world is. I think it's always been this fucked up. I just think it wasn't as in your faces as it is now, where it's like, it's just so clear that where we're getting shafted left, right, and center, how corrupt everything is. But it's like, people get so worked up about all this stuff. They get so worked up. It's like, it's not going to change. It's always been that way.
Yeah.
You know, like my sister, I could hardly speak to her for 2 days after Trump got reelected. And it's like she's so triggered by it. Like, she's calmed down a bit now. She's so triggered by it. I'm like, well, why are you getting so worked up?
Everyone has their opinions. I think it does tie back to, like, what you've always been
doesn't
told.
help from a Trump supporter as well. So
it ties back to, like, what you've always known, what you've always been told.
Yeah.
You know, different households. What was your background growing up in terms of, like, family and stuff? Were you very left, very right, or do you just never ever care about it?
I remember my mum was always Labour.
Yeah.
Couldn't tell you what my dad was. I don't actually know why, but never asked him.
Yeah.
When it comes to politics, everyone has their own opinion on it. Like, even if it was my mum, my dad, that's their choice.
Yeah.
But I'm also a grown man, so I have my own choices. So
Yeah,
I never was, like, influenced from other people around me. I always would, for example, before I voted, I'd always go read through all of it.
Yeah, exactly.
And then kind of decide for myself. Then they, like, it's your vote for what you want.
Exactly. Exactly. Don't just follow the crowd with it. Yeah. I agree.
Yeah. But, like, even in my group chats, like, it'd get really political in group chats, and people, I'd just be like, look,
it's not worth it.
It's a group chat for lads. Have a bit of banter.
Exactly.
Leave it like that. Politics, keep it to yourself. Because I feel like
that
religion and politics is a big divide with people.
100%.
It can be, yeah. It can be a huge divider of people.
It
We have a
shouldn't be.
religion.
Yeah.
But it is. People have such harsh views on it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm interested. If you've got a different view, I'm interested in it.
Yeah.
Problem is, it's hard to have a conversation with someone who's got a different view.
Yeah.
Without them coming from
passion,
a point
isn't
of
it?
it's passion's probably a nice way to put it. I'd say I suppose it is passion.
It's the most passionate version of that person when they start talking about, like, religion and politics.
Yeah.
Were you ever religious yourself or not?
I was growing up. I was a Seventh-day Adventist. Because
you were what?
Seventh-day Adventist, so go to church on a Saturday.
Yeah.
I grew up Seventh-day Adventist. Quite a big thing in the Jamaican community. in South London. And then I just kind of,
What side of the family is Jamaican, bro?
my mum.
Mum's side.
So my mum's Jamaican, my dad's Algerian.
Okay, yeah.
So I'm half North African, half Jamaican.
That's a cool mix, that.
But yeah, I wouldn't say I'm religious. Like I don't go church regularly and stuff, but
Have you been back to Algeria or Jamaica or?
I haven't been Algeria since maybe 6.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What about-
Jamaica I went when I was 15 last, but I'm planning I want to go again next year. I love Jamaica.
I went this year for the
Mate,
first
it looks
time.
so
It was
cool.
What a
I'd love
place.
to go. Love
What
to
a
go.
place.
it's a culture of the people. Like I think for me when I decided I wanted to go, I was really thinking back to like when I was younger. And if you grow up like listening to grime rap, it's like it's a huge influence, Jamaican culture. So for me, I actually went there like just for that, to be honest, like just to feel more in tune with like what's actually influenced me as a person, like culturally as well. But I love Jamaican culture, man. I love Jamaican people, man.
Yeah. But then again, you touched on the subject before. You look at Jamaica, think it's all lovely. You can live there. If you go outside the tourist places, it's pretty
That's
rough.
what I've heard.
Yeah,
Really
well, you
rough.
get yourself.
And I'm sure they wish that they could live somewhere else.
Yeah, the
100%.
grass is always greener,
Yeah,
isn't it?
everyone always has their own problems where they live.
No, you're right.
Yeah, but I think when you have quite a big split like that, like Algeria, Jamaica, it's like you're African but you're Caribbean as well. What role did that play for you, bro? Out of curiosity, because I've had this conversation with people in the past, and I think you sometimes gravitate towards one culture more than the other.
Yeah.
But then obviously if you've grew up in the UK, that's a huge culture in itself as well. I know people don't like to acknowledge British culture much, but like what's took the biggest hold on you? Like
I was actually having this conversation with one of my mates the other day.
Mm.
Do you know those forms when you fill out?
Yeah.
It says
Oh, yeah.
white, African.
Yeah.
I think every form I filled out,
Yeah.
it's been a different answer of different Afro-Caribbean,
Yeah.
mixed British. Like, I don't think it's ever been the same.
Mm.
Because that's quite difficult to answer that one. But
Yeah.
I would say I've swayed more towards my mum's culture because I grew up with my mum more, and the family that I was around. Like, I'd go to Jamaican weddings and I'd eat Jamaican food.
Yeah.
Whereas the North African culture, I'm proud of it,
Mm-hmm.
but I've never really been like,
Don't understand it as much.
yeah, I'm not really been like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like,
Immersed in it.
yeah,
Yeah.
like I've not been in that culture
Yeah,
too
yeah.
much. Like,
Yeah.
because even my dad and my uncle, they're not like strict Muslims. They don't really, they're basically North Africans that migrated to London and just got London culture.
That's sick.
So
Yeah.
Are the Muslim though? Are they?
my dad's is Muslim. My uncle is the loose cannon of the family.
There's always one.
Yeah,
There's always
which I
one.
feel like I am of my mum's side.
Yeah.
Out of all my cousins.
Yeah.
Because they were all into karate, church, and
Yeah.
discipline, and I've always been like,
Nightlife.
just do, yeah,
Yeah, mate, do your thing.
do what I want to do.
Mate, I love that. There's something about being the not black sheep of the family, but being the curveball of the family.
Yeah.
You know,
That's definitely me.
I think you come around though. At least
Yeah.
because I think for me personally, I have. You know, I went way off and started to wrap it around. You find a middle ground and people understand you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My mum was like, you can't be working in clubs forever. I'm like, well, enjoy it.
Exactly.
It's paying the bills.
100%.
So it's what I love to do.
Love that.
And I feel like everyone has this perception that a job should be turn up at 9, finish at 5, sit at a desk. But world's moved on. You can do so many different things.
Oh, mate, without a
make
doubt.
money.
It's easier now to do that, I think, than ever.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, so many things are harder.
Yeah.
That is one thing that isn't.
Yeah. I'm not a desk guy.
Yeah.
And I respect people.
Yeah,
who do it.
yeah.
I remember I did it in COVID. I worked at an energy company. I like hands-on. Like even my
Yeah.
summer jobs, I was groundsman at Jasmine Tennis Club.
Sweet.
I've been a landscape gardener.
Yeah.
I just like being hands-on, just moving about. I can't sit.
So If you could give advice to someone who's in that 9-to-5 job right now, and they are sick to death of it, and they want to change, go into something else, what would your advice be?
Same as before.
Yeah.
If you want it, go for it 100%.
Yeah.
You won't have any regrets.
Yeah.
That's my mother.
I actually heard you talking
I
about
put her on airplane mode, but she's the only one that can call me.
What's the chances?
Yeah.
Man?
But yeah, just go for it 100% because,
Love that.
again, you won't have any regrets for trying.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah. And realistically, they're in that job. They've got the experience. If it doesn't work out, you've got the experience in that job. You can
Just go back to
it. Yeah.
I love that. Bro, that's been sick having you on. Cheers, man.
Thank you very much.
That was wicked.
Appreciate it, my bro.
No problem.
Yes, mate. That's it. Episode 8, done.